Hi. It's me, Alexis, again. I'm going to start this viewing with an incredible experience I had a couple of days ago. I was here in Society at Belly Deli, which is the 24-hour grocery store, which is an unbelievable store. But anyway, there was a young man who works there and had observed me over time. And he looked at me and he said to me, I mean, the most incredible thing, he said, "I wish everybody could meet you." And it's very strange, it didn't really go in. But my immediate response was, well, they can, because I'm filming, I'm doing videos and putting them on a YouTube about my writing, so they can meet me. And I just thought how interesting that was. I immediately said that, and then later I thought, wow, what a thing to say. I mean, and then I made jokes about it, I say things like, it's wonderful to, people will want to meet you so that they'd be so happy that I'm in KL and not in the rest of the world or something like that. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, that was it. And then if you'll notice, I'm wearing this around my neck. But originally, when I got dressed, I put it around my head. And I sent a picture to a close friend of mine, and he said, Lawrence of Arabia. And I thought, Lawrence of Arabia? And I said, Lawrence of Arabia? And he said to me, oh my gosh, I said, he's a guy, I'm a girl, and don't you know the difference? But then later he said a good morning greeting that said, my dear, I was talking about your headscarf, so that was okay. But anyway, I decided the day progressed and I just put it around here rather than on my head. Okay.
Today on Behind the Blogs, we're going to be using the blog post, A Sense of Belonging, right? So let's sort of enter that belonging now. You wrote that in KL, you are developing a sense of belonging. What made you realize that this feeling was new?
Well, actually, it was the events that had taken place the day before. I mean, it was just an absolutely incredible day. It began with, what I've been doing is going to the pool area on the 8th floor and water walking in the baby pool for my knee. And all the staff come and talk to me and say hi to me. I'm like this fixture and stuff. And then the day progressed, and a wonderful friend of mine, we were supposed to have lunch, but she wrote and she said, no, there's funeral prayers for someone I'm close to, so we can't have lunch. And then she wrote and she said, oh no, they ended early, so if you can be ready in 20 minutes, we can go to a bookstore, and then we can go to lunch. And I said, well, I had a big breakfast. Well, whatever. And anyway, so I won't have lunch. But anyway, we can go. So I went to this bookstore, and the bookstore is, when my knee gets better, I can walk there. This incredible Islamic bookstore that's not only a bookstore, but also is a center for Islamic training. And so there it is, right there. There, we took a picture, she was there, I was there. And it ends up that she knows the owner. It's like, I just couldn't believe it. And then afterwards, we went to a Mexican restaurant, and it was nearby. Incredible, oh my gosh, the food was so good, the better, I come from California, but, so of course there's a lot of Mexican restaurants, but this was the best food, the best ceviche I've ever had. And then my other friend, Alina, texted and she said, oh, you ate at the Mexican restaurant. That's my cousin's restaurant. So here I am in the middle, and all of these people consider me to be part of their family. And it's just like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, all of these people. And it's just like that, I thought to myself, that's never happened before. Well, in terms of that, it never has, especially such incredibly powerful, wonderful people, Muslim, very well educated people. I mean, it's a miracle, it seems like to me. Yeah, so that's where it came from.
Okay, how does belonging feel different from dependency in your experience?
Well, if you're usually dependency, and I was in a very dependent relationship that wasn't a very good idea at all for me, and I'm out of it now. Dependency is it's usually only one person, and you absolutely need that person to do something essential to you. Belonging is bigger. It's a bigger thing where you're equals and you're treated equally, and it just expands all the time. Very, very different than dependency. Dependency is stifling. Sense of belonging is huger.
Okay, let's look into the past and the present. You later realized once you had a sense of belonging in Moran, what helped you see that connection?
Oh, yeah. So what I did is someone had, the person that I was dependent on that I was talking about, had asked artificial intelligence what I was famous for. And the decision was I was famous for shutting down an oyster farm. But I went back and I said to A1, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. And A1 did. And it wasn't just us shutting down an oyster farm. I mean, it was taking a major stance on behalf of environmental law, which was very difficult to do in this politically correct, very rich county. So I had enforced, I stood up and I went to court and I did it and I worked really hard. It was huge. And then it's in West Marin, and West Marin, you sort of have to know what it's like, but it's very like country, it's bucolic. And it's just and there's all kinds of government land. It's just like farmland, and all the development is along the corridor of 101. And it's just incredible. And I own property there. So I own property, right there, and there's 3 oyster farms and you go, it's a wonderful place. I was a fixture. I was part of the community, an essential part. So that was that. And then all of a sudden I realized, with the help of artificial intelligence, that indeed I was really had a huge sense of belonging back there, and I needed that help, Yeah. Yeah.
When you revisited your identity as an attorney in Marin, what shifted in how you understood yourself? Or did anything change at all?
No, I think it did. I saw myself as I guess. I saw myself, I always was a mover and shaker, in whatever that expression is. But it just isn't something that happened since I became a Muslim or since I started writing the blog. It was always there. And so that made a huge difference. It connected my past with my present. There, that's how you say it.
Now, while writing about Nixon sent the Michelin Guide pages, right? Perfect timing.
I know.
You like to say.
I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. So in the middle of writing about longing, and Nixon sent who's the general manager of Life, sent the pages from the Michelin Guide, and I belonged there too, I was part of the team. I got a cup that says Alexis #1, and I was an essential part of the team, and the employees all called me either mother or grandmother or something like that. All of a sudden I thought, well, what am I talking about? This isn't isolated, and it's even very recent, and it was like, sometimes, like, especially in the faith, you do step by step, and I can see that's what I've been doing.
How did this present sense of belonging in Kuala Lumpur feel different from past forms of beginning?
Yes, okay. Well, it just seems like to me that the people are way more diverse than they have, the kinds of people that I've been meeting, very influential families, very well educated, very much involved in the community and making Malaysia a better place, all of those things. And somehow I'm part of it. I mean, it's enormously flattering and very, very different from my experiences in Penang.
You ended the blog with "I listened and I learned." What does that phrase mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's kind of complicated to explain, but sometimes you hear something, but it doesn't really like go in, you know, you don't integrate it and whatever. So when I said I listened and I learned, I said, oh, okay, I never thought of it that way. And you have a new perspective and a new way of looking at things. I think that's what I meant.
If this chapter in your life have one word, other than belonging, what would it be?
You know, when I first read that question, I had an answer, and now I can't think of what the word is. I mean, other than, oh, I know. I actually know, because when you sent me I'm getting a new website, and I've got a perfect word. And what I said to you, what I typed in the text was, I'm gobsmacked. So yeah, I think that's it. Gobsmacked. I mean, it's like, I just can't believe all these things are happening. And these incredible people that I meet and everything. Like we were talking about this incredible woman who's got millions of viewers on TikTok. I mean, she lives right over there. And I've got a new best friend. I mean, gobsmacked, you know. And everybody knows me. And everybody, it's like, what? Yeah, gobsmacked.
Now, anything you want to tell your viewers to end before they catch you next week on your next Behind the Blogs?
I don't think so. I mean, but brace yourself, boy. This new website is going to be killer. Okay.